Hi, I'm James Lusk, Tai Chi teacher in Portland, Oregon. Today we're going to work with Daoist padding exercises. So these exercises are for cleansing and clearing the lung areas, and they'll be strengthening the lungs, helping to knock off the phlegm off of the lungs. So you could use this for clearing the lungs in the morning. You could use it if you are having bronchial problems, or you think that your respiratory illness might be leading you to pneumonia. And this is a way of opening up the different parts of the lungs so that they're not flat, but they open up. And then with the padding, we're actually literally knocking the goo off of the lungs and helping to clear the lungs. So we're going to talk about breathing in a number of different ways. So the first one that we want to talk about is Bellows Breath. So if you've taken any type of exercise classes, especially something like Pilates or yoga or Tai Chi, which happens to be my favorite, you've heard talk about the bellows breath. And so what we're wanting to do is not just shallowly breathe from the top, but we're wanting to pull breath all the way into our lungs. So we're using the diaphragm of the body, which comes up underneath the rib cage, and as the diaphragm extends down, pulling air to the lungs, and then breathing out and contracting in and expelling air out of the lungs. So let's just do that a couple of times. So just go ahead and place your hand on the belly and breathing in and out. So getting a fuller breath that way. So, but actually, we can use 3 different separate reservoirs of breath that is within the torso of the body. So that would include the chest breathing, breathing at the solar plexus, breathing at the abdomen. So what we want to think of is that as we're inhaling, we want to start at the abdomen, then fill the solar plexus, then the chest, and then out, chest, solar plexus, abdomen. So filling in from the bottom, breathing in, filling in, and then exhaling, starting at the top, chest area, breathing out, 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 out. So now let's do a few breaths where we're working on that. So go ahead and put one hand on the, maybe about the palm over the navel, and then thumb up to the solar plexus, and then this hand, palm over the sternum, and then baby finger down to the solar plexus again. So breathing in, and out, in, out. And relaxing down from there, breathing in and out. So we're doing some breathing in ways that we don't normally do breathing. So you might want to watch whether you get a little bit dizzy from it. And so if it's making you slightly dizzy, you're okay. Maybe make sure you have a chair behind you in case you need to sit down. It's always good to recover from a slight dizziness as opposed to maybe if you don't get dizzy ever at all and you would stand up from a chair quickly and all of a sudden you get dizzy, then off and over you would go. So it's good to have a little bit of dizziness in the body. So now we're going to talk with the 3 parts to this breath. So we're going to do a tapping, we're going to do a patting, and then we're going to do exhaling out. So we'll explore the tapping first. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the pads of our fingers, come up to the chest area here, and we're going to just tap. And then we're going to tap as we breathe in, using the full breath, breathing out. And in. Out. In. And out. And breathing in and out. So just standing there, noticing what's happening with the chest. You can feel the warmth, and the tapping has brought circulation into the skin area, into the subcutaneous area. You can even feel it into the ribs and into the lungs. So they should have a feeling of openness. So this openness is once again taking it, and instead of having the lungs just slightly open and close, we're opening and closing the lungs as we tap. Breathing in, still tapping, and breathing out. So that's the first part of the breath. The second part of the breath is patting. So you're going to use your hand and you're going to pat, so up by the collarbone, over the top of the chest, down on the side. Ladies, you can be careful around the mammary glands as you're doing it. So that one you're going to feel just a little bit more. But when are we going to do it? That's the thing. We're going to do it after we've breathed in, and then we're going to hold the breath and do the patting. So that's, once again, using the fingertips and slowly breathing in as you tap. And hold. And then breathing out. And in. Breathing out. Third time. And out. in, out. Once again, standing still. Notice the feeling in the chest area. Maybe you felt like you've just gone outside and took a nice deep breath of fresh air. So there's now a third part. We breathed in the tapping, we hold the breath, patting, and then when we expel the breath, we're going to expel the breath out. So we're going to do this by breathing in. So what you're not seeing is you're not seeing me go. That's in and out. It's all out, 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 out. The way you can kind of feel that is if you can put, once again, 2 fingers at the solar plexus, and then it's like you're coughing. And instead of breathing in after it, you're continuing to breathe out. So breathe in. And at the same time, while we're doing this, we're also polishing. So the polishing, we've done tapping, we've done patting. Polishing is opening up and relaxing. So the way that we're polishing is you can lightly touch the skin, but what we're wanting to really polish is the lungs inside. And so what we want to do is we want to use the whole shoulder blades, the rib cage, the shoulder blades and back, and the shoulder caps, and into the collarbone. As we polish the lungs within, as we're expelling the air out. So how does that go? So that breathe in. That was just showing you that part 3 of the expellation of the air, but that's going to come after the tapping and the patting. So let's do this together. So standing with the feet shoulder width apart, breathing in, squeezing the shoulders up, over, back, and down. Second breath in, elongates the whole spine. Breathing out. So try to figure out the breath with the 3 reservoirs, breathing in. And out. And now here we begin with the tapping. Breathing out and in. Oh. Breathing out. Notice the lungs. Notice the vibrations in the body, tingling sensation in the hands, the skin of the chest, the muscles, openness of the nostrils, relaxation of the mind. So if you've been following me so far in this, in my introducing each part of that, and then doing it 3 times in a row fully, that's very likely enough for you today. And so why don't you relax and rest from that, going back into just natural relaxed breathing. Then maybe try it again tomorrow or the day after that. After that, you can do this a number of times. I would do it in sets. So we did that 3 times. So if you wanted to build on that, so that maybe in a week or 2, maybe you would try to expand that up to 6 times or 9 times. So just remember, it might be good to have a chair behind you in case you should get dizzy from it, but you should be able to feel that openness with the chest and that openness of the breath and that openness of the mind, and using your breath to improve the quality of your daily life. Thank you for joining me in this today.